Imagine waking up tomorrow and the world feels wrong. There's this unsettling silence, a palpable absence hanging in the air. As you look around, you'd quickly realize something absolutely fundamental is missing. Every single girl and woman on Earth has simply gone. Now, what would truly happen next? Beyond the immediate shock, how would our world, our societies, and even our very future unravel? Well, this isn't just a hypothetical thought experiment. The consequences would be far more intricate and devastating than you might imagine. For centuries, we've built civilizations on the foundation of two sexes. Our entire biological and social framework relies on this balance. So what if that balance was abruptly, completely shattered? No, this isn't just about losing half the population. It's about losing the ability to create population. This isn't just a crisis, it's an existential cataclysm. So let's break down the layers of this unthinkable scenario, from the immediate chaos to the chilling long-term implications. Day 1. The immediate aftermath. Firstly, the sheer scale of loss would be unimaginable. Think of the emotional toll. Billions of people grieving their mothers, daughters, wives, and sisters. But the emotional devastation is just the beginning. On a societal level, our entire infrastructure would immediately strain. Hospitals would be overwhelmed, workplaces would be ghost towns in many sectors, and the global economy would simply freeze. Imagine logistics, healthcare, education, all sectors suddenly missing half their workforce. And specifically, the half that often dominates certain critical roles. Experts who study catastrophic events often point to the critical roles women play in stability. In fact, a report from the Council on Foreign Relations emphasizes how women's economic participation is a bedrock of global prosperity. So if they were suddenly gone, it wouldn't just create gaps. It would tear apart the fabric of demand and supply, leading to mass unemployment and the worst economic depression the world has ever seen. Week 1. Social unrest and a breakdown in security. As the days pass, grief would quickly turn into anger, panic, and desperation. Now, with society in shock, the unrest would likely spread fast. Security forces themselves, severely depleted and emotionally compromised, would struggle to maintain order. And this isn't just speculation. A study in the Journal of Conflict Resolution found that gender inequality often predicts societal instability. Now imagine the most extreme imbalance possible, one complete gender gone. It's not hard to see how chaos could erupt. Meanwhile, basic services would falter. With women gone in critical caregiving roles, in supply chains, in administrative positions, even simple tasks like sanitation and food distribution could grind to a halt. Well, this isn't about blaming anyone, it's about acknowledging the intricate, often unappreciated interdependence of our roles. Month 1. The biological reality sets in. This is where the true horror of the scenario becomes clear. No women means no more new life. Humanity's expiration date would be set. Fertility clinics would become obsolete overnight. The last generation would be born, and then nothing. It's not just the practical implications. The psychological impact of knowing humanity is doomed to extinction, regardless of individual survival, would be crushing. It taps into a deep existential dread, something philosophers have explored when they talk about the Great Filter. It's a concept that every advanced civilization might eventually face an insurmountable obstacle to its survival. In this case, we wouldn't be wondering what the filter is. We'd be living it. Year 1. The long goodbye. As time passes and the remaining male population grows older, the world would start to feel hollow. Imagine the fields overgrown, machines rusting in factories, libraries full of unread books. Gradually, cities would empty. Infrastructure would crumble, and the intricate knowledge passed down through generations would slowly fade. On the whole, the world would effectively become a giant, slowly decaying tomb. Emphatically, it would be a stark illustration of Peto's paradox, but applied to an entire species that is confronting its own extinction. In fact, the final years would be a stark, chilling reminder of what we lost, and perhaps what we took for granted. But here's the most profound realization. It's not just about procreation. It's about the loss of perspective, of balance, of the very essence of human experience. Think of the scientific advancements we wouldn't have, the art that would never be created, the different ways of thinking and problem solving that would simply vanish. Sociologists and psychologists consistently highlight the unique contributions each gender brings to society. In communication, empathy, leadership styles, and societal cohesion. With the abrupt removal of half of humanity, we wouldn't just be losing numbers. We'd be losing an entire dimension of our collective intelligence and emotional landscape. It's a great silence that would echo far beyond the absence of voices. So the ultimate consequence isn't just extinction, it's the extradition of our story, our future, and the intricate, beautiful tapestry woven by both halves of humanity. To conclude, what does this terrifying thought experiment ultimately mean? It underscores the profound, often invisible interdependence that defines human existence. It's a reminder that every life, every perspective, every contribution weaves into the grand narrative of humanity. And perhaps appreciating that delicate balance is the first step towards ensuring our actual future. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, subscribe for more fascinating insights, and stay tuned for the next video from the Conflicted